beautiful people. Welcome or welcome back to another episode of Sisters Gist. Today's episode is inspired by a story I came across online. It's a true life story of a lady who wasn't sure if she should break up with her fiance because she discovered few weeks to their wedding that the man does not like her smell. As funny as it sounds, it was really heartbreaking for her. So let me try to narrate a story. So one night, for whatever reason, they were together. The guy got drunk, and you know the way drunk people just used to say things like they just when they get tipsy and they end up saying things they never intended to say. So while drunk, this guy opened up on the fact that he doesn't like her smell, that her armpit smell especially. So when she heard that, she was really hurt. She said that she takes care of her body very well. She uses deodorant and she doesn't understand why, though she was a sweaty person, yeah, and she doesn't understand why her husband to be would not like her smell, and she's considering breaking up, the relationship, putting a stop to the relationship, since you don't want to be with a man who seem not to like something about you. So she was asking that what should she do? So what do you think? What do you think she should do? If you were in her shoes, would you go ahead and break up the relationship? That relationship was already 3 years old at that time. Like, they've been in a relationship for 3 years, and this guy has never mentioned this to her before until that day when he got drunk. So what do you think? I feel maybe for him, maybe it's not a big deal. If he was able to stay in a relationship with her for 3 years, maybe it's not a big deal. Maybe it's something he could actually live with. So because of that, today I've decided to share tips on how to get rid of armpit odor. I'm actually very prone to armpit odor. Like, I'm that person that if I leave my armpit alone, like if I leave my armpit alone, it will do wonders. So I'm very, very intentional about how I take care of my armpit, and I'm going to be sharing tips on how you can also make sure that your armpit smells nice. So I realized that most people don't even know that they smell. The first step I wrote is for you to have a talk with yourself and agree with yourself that your armpit needs help. That your armpit needs help. That was the first step in helping myself. Just came to discover that I sweat a lot from my armpit, and because of that, it gets smelly. I had to do something about it. I had to just first agree that my armpit smell. And another thing you can do is, after your day, when you pull off your dress, just pick that dress and perceive the armpit. Do you like the smell? Are you okay with the smell? Do you think it's okay that another person actually perceived that smell? How do you feel about it? So decide from there if you need to give more attention to your armpit. So now that you have discovered that your armpit gets smelly, whenever you're having your bath, give more extra attention to bathe in that area. When you're having your bath, it's very easy to just gloss over your armpit. Like, when you use your sponge, it's very easy for you to just gloss over your armpit. You would think you washed it rather, but actually you did not wash it. So now that you know that you have you are prone to a smelly armpit, which is not a disease, by the way. If you sweat, you're prone to it, because what causes body odor is that when you when you sweat, and the sweat itself, which is odorless, contact or react with certain bacteria on your skin, they tend to smell. They become smelly over time. So that is what actually causes the odor. So it's not a disease. I think it's actually a natural occurrence, but you can do things. You can intentionally take certain steps to lessen the smell, to even avoid the smell. Spend more time in scrubbing your armpit. Scrub very well with your soap. Scrub well. What you're doing is that you're scrubbing away the dead skin cells in your armpit. So make sure you take your time to just scrub. Then the next step you should do is to shave regularly. I used to skip this step. I used to just believe once I wash it very well and I apply, the deodorant or antiperspirant, I'm good to go. And I did not used to shave as frequently. But I later discovered that not shaving will still end up making your armpit smell because sweat collects around the air follicles, leading to the bacteria that I say would mix with your sweat to cause the smell. So it's very okay for you to have a routine of shaving your armpits and every other part of your body that needs shaving. And if you are the type that sweats a lot, make sure you have your bath at least twice a day. So you're having your bath in the morning and before you sleep in the evening. And I don't think I need to tell you that you shouldn't be repeating clothes if you sweat a lot. And the last step is for you to use appropriate deodorant or antiperspirant. Now, there's a difference between deodorant and antiperspirant. Deodorant just deals with the smell, while antiperspirant deals with your sweating. It tries to control your sweating. For me, I prefer to use antiperspirant because I sweat a lot from my armpit. I don't really sweat much on my face or any other part of my body, but my armpit, yeah, I sweat from there. So I would rather use antiperspirant that controls, how much I sweat. There's a way that the place is just all dry whenever I apply my antiperspirant. Figure out, what do you need? Is it a deodorant you need or an antiperspirant? Get the one that works for you, that lasts long, that just fits your lifestyle, and make sure to use it consistently. You have to be consistent with these steps for you to see results. It's not something you do a day and then you don't do it again. It has to become a lifestyle of scrubbing your armpits, shaving regularly, applying the necessary deodorant or antiperspirant. So yeah, I hope I was able to communicate something today. All right, so I'll see you in my next episode. Bye bye.